Okay, so today I'm just gonna try and make the quick video of season 2 of Wednesday, the show on Netflix. And just for the record, I have watched season 1. It's been a long time since I watched season 1, but I have watched it. And I'm sorry that it took me so long to make this video, but I got really busy. Things have happened, and also by the time that I was going to make a video on part 1 of season 2, part 2 was almost gonna be released, so I just figured I was going to wait until part 2, watch all of part 2, and then get my overall thoughts of the whole season. So I do have some notes here, so I don't ramble too much. And the first thing I want to talk about is the overall plot. And the overall plot, if you guys see the trailer, is basically Wednesday has a premonition that she will be the cause of Enid's death. And that causes her to kind of make some decisions that may not be the best or may not be the smartest decision. And also, you have a new principal they were not really hiding the fact that he was very zany. Like, from the first episode when he came out, I kind of already thought that he might turn out to be a villain. And spoiler, he did turn out to be a villain. Although the way he turned out to be a villain was unexpected. I did not expect for his character to go down that route. And as far as his history with I believe her name is Bianca, the siren. And another thing is also Wednesday this season, as far as character development goes, I believe something that he was supposed to learn, hopefully he did learn by the end of this season, about having too much, I guess you'd call it hubris, or being too cocky, and also just, I don't know, learning to work better with other people. Because one of the other things that's going on this season, apart from Wednesday having to save Enid, is the fact that Wednesday did not have her powers this season. So she has to figure out how to get her powers back and how she could protect Enid at the same time. But throughout the season, and even in season 1, because I believe it was in season 1 where Trista tells Wednesday that you're a smart girl, but your intelligence sometimes gets in your way. And this season just proves what Motista was trying to say. Like, Motista was trying to warn Wednesday that you shouldn't overuse your power because that could lead to dangerous consequences, and you shouldn't rely too much on your powers, and also don't think that you mastered them just quickly. Because Wednesday was 100% sure that her premonition was going to come true and that her premonition was right, the way that she read her premonition. But Manchester warned her, I believe at least a couple of times, that her visions and her premonitions may not be true. And also we see in this season that they could change depending on the action that is taken. And so hopefully she has learned from this. We will see in season 3. Sorry, I'm going to talk about season 2, but we'll see what that goes in season 3, and that's pretty much it. As far as subplots go, there's honestly, in my opinion, there's too many subplots. You have the subplot of Enid and her love life, and you have the subplot of, again, I believe the character name is Bianca, the siren, and what's going on with her and her mother, as well as, if you want to call it a subplot, what's going on between Morticia and her mom. So I guess mother and daughter having issue with one another. Just one's in the family, but that was kind of interesting to see. But yeah, there was a lot, and also again, you could probably call it a subplot where Wednesday's brother, I'm forgetting his name, I think it's called Ghibli. But when the younger brother of Wednesday, and how he's going to the same school as Wednesday, Nevermore, and how he's having trouble making friends. And Pugly was his name. Sorry, I forgot his name for a moment there. But yeah. So Pugly was having trouble making friends, and also, if we remember in season 1, he was also being bullied. hence why Wednesday got expelled from her other school for defending her brother. And so we do see a lot more of that, which is interesting. It makes Pugsley feel more sympathetic as a character, and also it kind of bothered me too because they made Pugsley be the roommate of the kid who controlled bugs from last season, the one that controlled the bees and all that, and it seems like he got power up during the summer break. But he was not the nicest to Pugsley when they first met. Like, he pretty much made clear that the only reason that he agreed for them to be roommates, or he agreed to have any interaction with him at all, and because he owed Wednesday a favor. And so that led him to get a zombie with a more relevant, I guess you could say, in part 2. And by the way, I did not like the zombie because that zombie looked very, very creepy. Like, when I saw that zombie for the first time, I'm like, get that thing off my screen. No. And I believe I even skipped some of the scenes with the zombie, to be honest with you, because he looked very scary and very creepy, very gross. The special effects team did a very good job. There's no hate to them. I didn't think they did too much of a good job making him look creepy and gross, is what I'm saying. But, yeah, so that led to that, and a problem with part 1 that I had, and this lead to what I did not like, was that there were too many subplots, and some of the subplots did not even interconnect well within each other. Like the one with Bianca and her mom, it did connect at some point, especially in part 2. It did connect with what was going on with Wednesday and all that, the main subplot. At least somewhat it connected, because it involved Wednesday's mom and it involved her grandma in part 2, with them being kind of the target of the principal, and, well, not kind of being the target of the principal, and the principal trying to take away their money. And so, in that way, it did connect pretty well with Wednesday and her main story. But when it came to Enid and her storyline, which by the way only lasted like, I want to say 2 to 3 episodes, I felt like there was really no need for it. And don't get me wrong, I love Enid, I love the character. I didn't think that subplot of her falling out of love with her previous boyfriend from the last season, whose name I'm forgetting. Forgive me, I'm bad at remembering names. But I just did not need for the love triangle between Enid and the two boys. And I just think that if that time could be used for something else, maybe have Enid be more involved with Wednesday, or maybe have it for Enid showing more anger or more resentment of Wednesday kind of pushing Enid away. Not because Wednesday doesn't like Enid, but more because he wants to protect Enid, and he wants to keep Enid away from all the danger, especially after she had that vision of Enid dying because of her. So in my opinion, it would have been a much better storyline for Enid to kind of show that hurt, that resentment of Wednesday kind of pulling away from her. Again, in Wednesday's mind for Enid's own good, but the way that, because Enid doesn't know the whole truth, it would hurt Enid. And speaking of this, another point that would have made it also interesting is also the addition of a new character with what her name was, Agnes, I believe her name was. I'm gonna try to put something in the video so you guys can know who I'm talking about. But yeah, Agnes is a new character who is trying to be Wednesday's new best friend and trying to get close to Wednesday. He's kind of like a creepy fangirl, or at least a obsessive fangirl. So having a storyline where Eden not only is bitter and hurt for what Wednesday is doing, but also having some jealousy towards Agnes. They did show a little bit of that, but I would have just liked a little bit more. And that he feels like he was going to be replaced. And so, and that's just my opinion, but from what I've been hearing, I know that I'm not alone in saying that many people did not like the storyline with Enid. A lot of people felt like that even ruined Enid's character. I didn't feel that extreme about it, like to the point where Enid's character was destroyed. But I do agree that that storyline was just not really good and did not really fit. The storyline with Pugsley and all that, again, it did not really fit also, but I guess I needed something for Pugsley to do, and since I think in the beginning he wasn't really involved in the main storyline, the main plot, that was the only way that they could think of. And also, like I said, and since he's basically a new character himself, because we did not see a lot of him in the first season, I think it was a little bit more understandable, and also it did help for us to see what type of character Pugsley is. So for that, I give it a little bit more leeway. But yeah, the Enid stuff in the first season, I think they could have done away with. And I will say though that part 2 of season 2 is a lot more better, mainly because the Pugsley storyline or subplot is now more integrated to the main storyline, and also Bianca's storyline has also kind of integrated into the main storyline as well. It started to all come together toward the end, and I guess that's why I liked it more. It was less convoluted and a lot more streamlined. And also, fun fact that Lady Gaga was in part 2, so that's pretty cool. I wish we could have gone like a whole episode with Lady Gaga, but I think we got a little bit of her. Hopefully, if they can, in season 3, they can bring her back, but I don't know how they will be able to. A lot of people were actually saying that Lady Gaga was probably going to be Wednesday's new fairy guide, because another thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning, Wednesday's fairy guide has gone the last season, so now she needs a new one, as well as having to get her powers, which turns out to be the principal from the last season. Since I'm only talking about things I did not like, so I could just end it with things that I did like. I did feel like they probably added maybe too many new characters. Like Agnes, I think she was a good addition to the cast. I think the principal, well, they needed a new principal. But I also think that they just wanted to kind of cap off or kind of give a resolution, because the last season they didn't really have a resolution with the Simon and their storyline. And so I can understand those two. But they also got the zombie. He ends up being a character in of himself who wants to kill the Anna family, because the Anna family in a way was specifically Marchesa and Gomez were indirectly or directly, depending on how you want to look at it, but I see it more self-defense. And so you have him, you have the mother of Tyler, if I remember, that's the name of the hide, right? Tyler. And then you have most of the funny cast coming back, except for one who was the dude who could paint, because I believe that something happened behind the scenes with the actor. I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, he did not come back, but most of the cast came back. And so adding all of those, and also a new sheriff and even a new teacher, there was just a lot of new characters that came on. I think maybe we did not need all of those characters. maybe we could just focus on one that we already had and just add like one or two more, but or maybe even three if you wanna. But I don't think that we needed all of these new characters because and maybe some of them we might see more. I think like the new teacher we're going to see more of her in season 3 if we get season 3. But some of them actually you end up dying. So we have what we have with them, and not like they were badly written or anything, but I just wish that their time could be used for maybe fleshing out the characters that we already had. And this is mainly a problem with part 1, I feel like. But yeah, it's another thing that some of the ending with some of the subplots, the way that they end, it was not bad, but lackluster. Depending on the way, like I think something that I heard that the principal died, and again this is spoiler, but the principal died way too easily and way too quickly, and I would have to agree that for him to be kind of winning the race, he was one of the main bads, for him to be taken out that quickly, and also since we just had a principal die last season, I just think that he could have had another ending, or they could have kept him for another season, and just miniatures. Kind of what they did with Tyler, where he's on the run, and also with the teacher. The teacher, she ends up running away, and she's probably gonna come back and cause some trouble for Wednesday. So I wish they could have done that with the principal, but yeah, they just decided to kill him off. And again, it was kind of like, I don't know how to put it, but I just wish the ending could have been a little bit better with him, and also like Enid's storyline with her love life. So Enid just, and again spoilers, but Enid just ends up by herself anyway. Like she breaks up with her new boyfriend because she finds out that her new boyfriend was cheating on her. So we kind of went through that drama in part 1. For, in my opinion, for no reason, because not like she got a happy ending with this character, and also what happens with her when she turns to a werewolf. Now, seemingly, she is stuck as a werewolf unless when she can figure something out in season 3. So, in my opinion, it kind of makes the whole love triangle with Enid kind of pointless again. And I think like the best subplot ending was probably with Pugsley, and how that ended up being connected to what was going on, what happened during Mercedes and Gomez's time in Nevermore. So that's about it. And also, the premonition also, I think it had like a pretty good ending, even though it kind of led into something else. So now we need to find out why somebody from the Adam family had to die, and also we need to find out why Wednesday's aunt is right on the wall. Wednesday must die, which was in the very last scene where we saw that, and where Wednesday supposedly, well not supposedly, but she got her powers back, seemingly for good, and so it kind of led into what's gonna happen in season 3, but with Pugsley's subplot, find out that this zombie was not only connected to Dean, but also how he was also connected to why Gomez, and it's something that I actually didn't realize when I watched the first season, or I don't believe they ever mentioned it, why Gomez does not have any powers. But they did mention this in the beginning of season 1, where Pugsley made the comment like, why did it skip you? Because their uncle has the same powers of Pugsley, and find out the answer that thanks to the, I believe he was Gomez's old roommate, or at least they were friends, but I believe they were also roommates. He used Gomez to power his machine with his electric ability because he wanted to cure his sister of her hide ability. But in doing so, not only was he about to kill Gomez, but he ended up taking Gomez's powers away. So that was something that I felt that was very interesting, even though I do wish that Gomez did have a little bit more of an opportunity to confront this man and kind of call him out on what he was doing. Because he was blaming Gomez for everything that happened, for his death, for the death of his sister, because now his sister is about to die, or is going to die, because he said that there was no cure for her now. It's too late. I really like Gomez kind of call him out, and like, no, like, I was willing and I wanted to help you when you took advantage of me and you were going to straight up kill me. Not only that, you took away my powers, and if that wasn't enough, you're trying to kill my son now. You're trying to kill my daughter. So, no, I didn't wish that Gomez could have called him out and could have said something to him. And like, I tried to be a good friend, and you took advantage of me, and now you're going after my family. But there wasn't really any scenes or anything where Gomez calls him out or even does anything. In fact, when she even tells Gomez, you stay behind, it's gonna be too dangerous. Even though Gomez, I believe we have seen him go through some pretty nasty stuff in the past, even in the cell. So we know that he's not a person who could be killed that easily. So I don't know why Gomez had to stay back and leave it to Manchester and Wednesday. I mean, it's his son too. So that's just one thing that did not make sense. If I was Gomez, I would have been like, no, I'm going to help save my son, and I'm going to wish this guy a new one. You do not mess with my family. But that's just me and about the season. A thing that I did like is that we did get to see more of the Adams family. So we did get to see more and more Chester, more Gomez, more Pugsley. Like I said, he had like his own little subplot. And when I see Gomez being a really nice father to Pugsley, being understanding to Pugsley, and being encouraging to him. And yeah, I believe that we did see some of that, but it was mostly with Wednesday. And now we also are seeing it with Pugsley. So it just goes to show that he is just overall very good father, very nice father. And also we do see more of the relationship between Wednesday and Rochester. And yeah, I do hope that now they could start to trust each other a lot more. And I believe that Rochester is starting to trust Wednesday a lot more, and hopefully Wednesday will listen to her mom more as well, and kind of not just brush off the advice that Rochester is giving Wednesday, because that was one of the main problems that Wednesday was having in this season in particular. And we did not really get to see a lot of Wednesday and Pugsley. Hopefully in season 3, we get to see more of that, more of their brotherly and sisterly bond. But anytime we see the Adams family together, I think it's great. They have a pretty good dynamic. I think that all the interactions between the family members are pretty good. And also, aside from maybe Wednesday kind of being a little bit cold to or Pugsley, that's Wednesday for you. And I do feel like she does care about her brother, but in that one scene, I do feel like she was acting being a little bit cold-hearted towards brother and not really trying to be understanding. And another thing that I like is that we did get to explore more of Wednesday's powers and more of Enid's powers. We learned that in this season that Enid is a alpha werewolf, and we also learned that Wednesday's power, more about Wednesday's powers. So I think that was great. I do like that they started to go more in depth with the powers, and that they also started to explain more of what the fairy guides are about. Because I don't remember them ever mentioning the last season that a fairy guide has to have blood ties with you. Or maybe they did, I just forgot. And also the differences between a raven and a dove. And get a little bit more history on ravens as well. So that's all of those things I think that I like, and I do think that they added to the story. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. And overall, I did enjoy the season. I did think that it was a good season. I am excited to see what's going to happen in season 3, because I think the ending left a lot of questions, a lot of openness to where it could go anywhere. And seemingly we're not gonna be heading towards Nevermore in season 3, and it's not the whole season, because it looks like we're gonna be heading toward Canada. So yeah, it just leaves a lot towards me being very curious and excited to see where it's going to go, and also what's going on with Spencer's aunt, and why is Spencer's grandma locking her up. So, and another thing is, why do the Raymonds seem to lose their mind or go insane compared to the Dubs, where the Dubs seem to keep it more together? So those are just some questions I have that hopefully by season 3, we might get some answers. And by the way, yeah, I know we're not all the Raymonds, because I think Lindsay's grandma, that did not happen to her, but at the very least it did happen to Lindsay's aunt, but we haven't heard of it happening to any Dubs. In fact, I think that the only Dub that we know of is Markissa. But who knows, maybe season 3 might get some more Dubs in the universe as far as the psychics go. But yeah, I'm excited to see where the series goes. I don't know how long we're gonna have to wait, because I believe it was it was like a 3-year wait from season 1 to season 2. So hopefully we don't have to wait another 3 years. Hopefully we get something like next year, or maybe the year after that. But we'll have to wait and see, because I don't even know if they started to film the next season yet, or if they even have a script written for season 3. But yeah, so far I'm very interested, very curious to see where this is going to go, and can't wait to see what happens next. And that's pretty much it. Sorry if I rambled. I tried to do the best I can to not to ramble, and I'm going to, if I ramble too much, I'm going to edit that out. But yeah, have a good day, take care, and thank you for watching the video, and have a nice day.